Yes, Michaela Strachan has been on our screen since the 1980s on shows like The Really Wild Show and is currently preparing for the new series of SpringWatch, which returns to our screens next month. She is waiting on the bridge. Please give a warm welcome to Michaela Strachan.
This is a wonderful place to be. As I say, I feel very at home here, as you can imagine.
You must be happy as a clan in this place, yeah?
I don't know if happy as a clan.
We're just very happy, basically. So.
Yeah, I'm very happy here. Do you know, I came here when it first opened years ago.
Did you?
Yeah, and I can really see the difference, because obviously the plants were not as big then.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous, isn't it?
I know. I mean, when they told us that, like, 25, 26 years ago, this was a clay mine, you know, there was not a green shoot to be seen, and now you have this. It's remarkable. But listen, I got in such trouble the last time you were on this, woman, because you were telling this amazing story about how a worm had burrowed under your skin. And because we ran out of time, I had to kind of stop you in the middle, and I got absolutely pelters.
People ask this all the time. What happened with their worm?
Do they really?
Yeah. Finish it off for me, please.
Oh, no, people are going to think this is awful, this story, because basically I was doing a lot of work in zoos at the time. So I was in cages and I was with animals and I didn't wash my hands properly and then ate a sandwich. And so, I know. So it was from animal faeces that I ended up getting a worm that was under my skin. So it wasn't in my stomach or anything, because you could see it. So it would itch. It would itch, and then you'd I'd get my partner to take a picture, and you could see this this worm under the skin.
And you weren't freaking out, because an average person would be so panicked by then.
I got quite attached to this worm, literally. And we gave it a little name, you know, William the Worm. And so I had some worm tablets to try and get rid of it. Didn't touch it. Still was there 6 months later.
Oh my God! So were you getting symptoms of weight loss or feeling unwell?
No, because it didn't affect me in any way.
Okay.
It was a symbiotic relationship between me and the worm.
You know what? Where's the tissues? This is quite beautiful.
Really, the world.
So it wasn't an intestinal
Not an
worm?
intestinal worm,
Right.
no.
So
it was
that's
just
why
a worm.
Is he still with us?
No. I then took double dosage of worm tablets. I had to end the love affair between me and the worm. And it disappeared. But most of the time you couldn't see it. But every time it came up to the more the surface of the skin and I'd start scratching, that's when I knew it was around.
I'm going to use this story to make my kids wash their hands before dinner.
It's celebrating for you.
You really do walk the walk, Michaela Strachan. That is a very cool story for a wildlife presenter. Oh, by the way, happy birthday. Just a couple of weeks ago, 58.
58.
Yeah. How did that feel?
I celebrate my birthdays.
Yeah, good.
I think anyone that's been through a cancer scare tends to celebrate and thinks, I'm here, I'm healthy, I'm fit, I can do the things I want to do. I can go hiking when I want to because I'm still fit and healthy and well.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing, because you say you don't actually think now about having had breast cancer.
It's 10 years since I had breast cancer.
But you had a friend, you lost a friend recently.
I did, which is really poignant, because her diagnosis was very similar to mine, and so it's a very poignant thing that 10 years later I'm still here, and we lost her last year.
That's such a stark reminder, isn't it? Whilst people get caught up in age and other people's lives are actually stopping, and you think that, it's a privilege to age.
It is a privilege to age, and I think we've got to change the narrative about that. And instead of all trying to look like we're 20 years younger, then let's just accept the fact that we're getting older a little bit. I mean, that's easy to say, isn't it?
I feel the same. I feel joyful that I'm going to be 60 this year. It's like, it's privilege, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as I say, instead of looking at those lines in the mirror and going, oh, I've got lines, say, great, I've got lines, that shows my story.
Well, that's it then, not that caveat of, oh, you look great for 60, because we shouldn't say that. 60 is what it is, and it's great to be alive,
Do you think also the fact that you have...
I'm not 60 yet, though. Can I just say that?
We've laughed the edges there.
I'm aging you,
Nothing
sorry.
wrong with being 60. No, but the fact that so much of your life has been around nature and the natural world, I wonder if that also gives you a more kind of philosophical view of things, because, it means so much to you, doesn't it, the natural world?
And I definitely go to the natural world for answers sometimes. And when I think we so overcomplicate our lives, and then you look at other species that, their whole purpose of life is to survive, to feed themselves, and to procreate. I'm not saying that that's the whole purpose of our life.
We could just go back to that.
It's also dog eat dog, isn't it? The animal world. It's very brutal. There's no sort of concessions.
Oh my goodness! I tell you, when we do the watches, that's when you realise just how brutal wildlife can be. I mean, we've had situations where we've had, you know, 2 lovely little chicks in the nest, and then the one that was slightly older will start pecking the other one to death. And then kick it out of the nest because it wants to survive.
I do that to her sometimes.
I was going to say, it sounds like the showbiz world.
So when you're doing, like, SpringWatch is coming up soon, so what's the reality of that for you? Are you stuck in a little hide somewhere watching?
No, I mean, it's very much like you guys. Our studio setup is outdoors. I mean, it feels like you're outdoors here, but we really are outdoors in the elements, whatever they are. And often it's all the camera team that see the exciting stuff for real. And we, like the viewers, are seeing it on the screen, and then we're narrating it.
Right.
So, you know, sometimes it is frustrating because I think everyone thinks that we are out there and experiencing it all, and actually...
Yeah, I think I do, actually. I just really... That's totally... When I see you, that's what I think of.
Is it the 20th year?
Next year, we're celebrating the 20th anniversary. So, it's good, isn't it? In this day and age, how many years has Loose Women been going?
25. 25 years in September, I think it is, actually.
I grew up watching you on the Really Wild show, so it's, like, incredible to see somebody so passionate about something, doing it all this time for their career. You know, everyone hopes to be doing something that they really believe in.
I know. We're all lucky, aren't we? Because we're doing something that we really enjoy. And my passion has grown with the programmes that I've done. Which is, and it's amazing to still be doing them. And
So
do you bring this into your lifestyle? I mean, do you live, you know, like we were talking about showering earlier. I mean, you know, are you an everyday showerer, bather, or do you try?
I'm sure we had this conversation last time I was on the show.
We did, actually, because it was... I remember everyone kept talking about it, the fact that you only had to shower 3 times a week.
Well, that's because we had a water crisis.
Yes,
in South Africa, we have a water crisis. But so, I think people are obsessed with washing.
Yeah.
It's like your jeans. Your jeans, how often do you have to wash your jeans? I mean,
well, apparently you're never supposed to wash jeans.
You can freeze your jeans to get rid of the bacteria, put them in the freezer. Is
that what you do?
Yeah, because it destroys the denim to keep washing them. It's too aggressive. So.
Oh, my word.
So what other day-to-day tips can somebody, like, watching now do to be a bit more sort of, you know, in keeping with the environment?
I think I mean, obviously there are so many, but I'm going to give your viewers some ones that I like, which is fashion. Fashion is, you know, there's been so much on the news about how bad it can be for the environment. And so choose carefully. What I'm wearing today, girls, I'm going to, can I lift my leg up?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
these are
nice.
Pre-love from a second-hand shop.
those boots.
Pre-love.
Yeah.
And this is also pre-loved. So I'm wearing all pre-loved stuff. I don't always buy pre-loved and second-hand. You know, I do enjoy going to the shop, sometimes buying something new. But I do sort of 50-50 now as well. Gifts. Gifts is another really important thing. You think about how many gifts you give that people end up throwing away or whatever. So I think it's... What I tend to do with gifts sometimes is I adopt something.
Oh, like an animal? Or,
So particularly if I've been filming something. So when I did Orangutan Diaries years ago, everyone for Christmas got an adopted orangutan. When I did elephants, everyone got an adopted elephant. And I'm very involved with a penguin charity now. And so I adopt penguins. And you can choose the penguin online. You choose the name of the penguin. So I've done it for weddings. So when my friend Joe got married to Martin, I adopted a penguin and called it Joe Marty. And so in honour of this, let me just go down under the table. I've done something for you girls because I've adopted a penguin.
Lucy.
And I've called it Lucy for Loose Women. Oh,
yes.
You can take that back to the studio.
Very cute.
And,
Your son's 18. Has he taken on your kind of principles?
I mean, yes, he loves wildlife, but sport is his big passion. So I could say he loves crickets. I don't quite follow my passion for cricket.
Cricket's well, if we're looking for another terrible pun, up there in that big nest, he's left his nest, hasn't he, your son?
Left the nest. Well, so have yours, haven't they?
Yeah, well, I've still got one in the nest. It's a big moment.
How are you feeling about that?
Well, OK, because I'm here at the moment, he's here, so actually I'm having really lovely quality time with him.
Oh, nice.
That would be different to when he's at home, because now I'm in his space, I'm in his apartment.
Yeah.
Dynamics have changed.
Yeah, the dynamics have completely changed.
Yeah.
But I think for his dad, it's quite a big thing. His dad is like, I'm watching Chelsea play by myself now on the telly instead of you. I'm streaming at the television all by myself.
You'll have to adopt him a penguin to sit with him.
Michaela, listen, thank you so much. It's been lovely to have you here. Lots to learn, and we're glad you're now worm-free.